You know, I remember when the Montreal Canadiens got and traded for a certain defenseman, Alex Carrier. And I remember making a video, and I remember saying that this is a, quote, big trade. I think that was the title I made, something about it being a big trade for the Montreal Canadiens. And I stand by that right now. I very much like Carrier. I think he's a really, really good defenseman. Is he flawless? No. Is he a number one defenseman? I don't think so. That's not what I'm saying. But he is still a very, very good, solid top four, and he shoots right, might I add. Let's not forget that when a defenseman shoots right, that's going to add more value to them. And he, in my opinion, has been the best defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens in this series. In his last 3 playoff games, he's played 22 minutes, 22 minutes, and 23 minutes. One of the big things that I look for when analyzing and discussing a defenseman, especially a defenseman, is how much a coach trusts him. And again, despite what you guys want to say, a lot of coaches are very similar. They have relatively similar systems that they play, penalty kills, things like that, and I'm telling you right now, this guy is a trustworthy defenseman. A lot of coaches really like him. Now, just because a coach likes him doesn't really mean he's going to be good, but alas. And unfortunately, my boy Carrier got annihilated by Tom Wilson into another stratosphere. Guys, if you're a Habs fan, you definitely obviously watched the game. If you didn't watch the game, you're not a Habs fan, in my opinion. This guy got crushed. Please tell me a hit in recent history that has been like that. I don't remember seeing a hit like that, and now it looks like Carrier is going to be injured. As of right now, I don't know how badly he is injured. I keep on trying to look at Carrier because, listen, I understand the Montreal Canadiens are down 3-1. I get it. They're down 3-1, but I never count the Montreal Canadiens out of anything. Maybe you're going to listen to this after they've already been eliminated by the Capitals, but the Montreal Canadiens always have a very go-getter attitude in the playoffs, and they're always generally pretty competitive in the playoffs. It's kind of like their thing, and then the Maple Leafs get up 3-1, and then they'll probably tank it away. I'm a Leaf fan, by the way, and I can roast myself. That's completely fine. Now, I actually do have an update on Laine, Montembeault, and Carrier. So all of them are actually listed as day to day. I just got that information now. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. I don't really know what day-to-day means. You guys need to understand something. When you're in the Stanley Cup playoffs, you could be day-to-day with like a missing limb. Like, you know what I mean? So in all reality, you don't. The problem is you're never going to know how truly injured any of these players are. I kind of don't like that, in my opinion. I'd like to get a better idea of what exactly I'm looking at with Carrier. He's a little bit of an undersized defenseman, and he got obliterated by Tom Wilson. I was like, wow. I was watching that game, and then the Caps go down and score. That's not bad. Line A is pretty useful, although Dobish has actually been pretty good. I don't know about you guys. I think he's been fine enough. I would much rather Montembeault in my opinion, but whatever. Now, from what I've seen, Habs fans are pretty frigging furious about this circumstance with Carrier. Listen, I'm not a Habs fan, so I just enjoy the hockey myself. I got a lot of respect for the Habs organization and their fans and things like that. But again, dude, I can't get over that hit. One of the best hits I've seen in a long time. Question of this video: what exactly do you guys think is going to end up happening with this series? The Caps are up 3-1. I listen to Habs Lunch every day or whenever I can, and Locked On Habs. I like to stay close with the Canadian teams. And again, they were talking about, hey, we're playing with house money. We're playing with house money, even if we get ousted in 5, whatever. I don't really like that mentality. I understand it's like, they have the first time they made a playoffs in a while. Like, what's the big deal? They're playing with house money. Like, no, and absolutely not. I want them to go to the second round. Wouldn't you rather see the Habs in the second round now, or are they going to beat the Capitals? If I was a betting man, I would not put money on the Habs right now, but I think that they absolutely could get through. The Habs have a history of this, man. They have a history of this. They have a history of just kind of being good in the playoffs, Remember when they were way back in the season, they had a 1% chance to make the playoffs. 1%. And I remember Martin St. Louis being like, hey, we still got a chance. Or I think he said something like that. I'll put the quote up on the screen for you guys. But it was an all-time quote. And I'm like, right, man, you never give up. At the end of the day, it's hockey because it's random. Like for me, in my opinion, I'd be straight with you guys. I think the Leafs are going to lose this series with the Senators. I am so traumatized that I assume they're going to tank this away and they're not going to close it out tonight. They have a history, and history tends to repeat itself, whatever philosophical thing you want to say. And also another thing, let's just talk about Ivan Demidov for a second. It honestly pisses me off. I think the Montreal Canadiens have the next Kucherov. I think Demidov is so good. Now, he needs to work on back checking. It's funny, though, because he's kind of exactly like Kucherov. Like, he doesn't really back check that hard, but he is so talented. My God, you can see the Habs building when he does like a little toe drag backhanded for you. Like, oh my Lord, he is so talented. I'm telling you right now, I think the Habs have at least a point per game winger there. That's the way I would judge him right now. At least a point per game player. I know you're going to drop it in the game in the comments. He's probably going to be a 100-point guy. I actually might not even agree. I disagree with that. I think that he's probably going to be that good as well. I think he's the next Kucherov. That's my opinion on that. What do you guys think about that? And again, I think that the Habs in this series so far, yes, they're down 3-1. I think that they've passed a lot of tests. I think they passed a lot of tests. They've proven that they can play playoff hockey. I still think the team is a little bit small. I would like a little bit more of a sizable team. People talk about Reinbacher, get him up from the minors. It's like, dude, give your head a shake. Do not bring this guy up in the minors. I've seen some people saying that, like, hell no. Let him chill. Let him just do what he's doing and let him develop. And I'm telling you right now, the Habs have a pretty bright future here with Demidov and all these guys. They're actually starting to build correctly the right way. So good for them. Anyways, I'm going to drop this video right here. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that, guys. And make sure to have a great day, guys. Goodbye.